federal government advises the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASUU, to cease taking laws into its hands by directing its members to continue with the 8-month-old strike. Presidential enabling business converged in Abuja to map out ways to strengthen the taxation system in Nigeria. Thank you very much for joining us. This is Panorama. I'm Ruth Agwele. Welcome. Remember, this news is being streamed live on our website. It's nta.ng/live, and all of our social media handles displayed on the screen right now. Let's begin by telling you that the federal government has advised the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASUU, to cease taking laws into its hands by directing its members to continue with the 8-month-old strike in defiance of the interlocutory injunction by the National Industrial Court, which restrained the union from further action. In a statement, the Minister of Labour and Employment, Dr. Chris Ngige, said a new directive by ASUU exhorting its members to continue with action is an unwarranted lawlessness, noting that the federal government strongly frowns at this. Ngige accused the leadership of the union of misinforming and misleading its members and warned of consequences of contempt of court order. He said the union is misleading its members and the general public, that it has filed an appeal as well as a stay of execution of the order of National Industrial Court on September 21st, 2022. He added, and I quote, "Rather, ASUU only filed an application for permission to appeal the order. It also attached to the application a proposed notice of appeal, which it intends to file if the leave of appeal is granted. The application for a stay of execution as of this moment has not even been listed for hearing. Where then is ASUU coming from?" End of quote. The statement also denied reports that the minister walked out on the meeting between the House of Representatives and ASUU last Thursday, 29th September 2022. It said the minister left the meeting to attend to other pressing matters with the permission of the Speaker of the House of Representatives after making his presentation. Nigeria has expressed deep concern for the recent yet another coup against military government of Paul Henry Damiba last Friday in Burkina Faso. In a statement by Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Nigeria described the latest coup as unfortunate and a setback in view of success in the planned transition to civilian administration in July 2024. The federal government therefore said it is fully in support of the ECOWAS and African Union on their decision for the nearly unconstitutional government in Burkina Faso to revert to the earlier transition plan to democratic rule in that country. In other news, ECOWAS Parliament at a seminar in Lomé is advocating early mechanisms to forestall likely interruptions of democratic processes and constitutional order as Nigeria, Sierra Leone and Liberia prepare for national elections.
The current breach of constitutional order through military coup is regaining currency in the West African sub-region. This trend is gathering momentum amidst the COVID crisis, climate change, conflicts, and dwindling economic fortunes in the region. At our seminar with the theme, Application of the Power of the Parliament in Light of the Restructuring of the ECOWAS Commission in Lomé, the capital city of Togo, members of the ECOWAS Parliament want countries to domesticate parliamentary decisions to promote regional growth and security.
But in the case of the Parliament, the ECOWAS Parliament, resolutions have not been in any way presented before the National Assembly in any form. If you pass resolutions and you just communicate to member state and there's no enforcing mechanism in place, I think there's something that is missing.
The power that we have with us, we use those powers judiciously.
Direct elections are relevant, they're important. Managing our own budget is important, it's relevant. But let us use the powers we have for now, then it will be easier for us to ask for more.
The aim is for Parliament to remain sensitive to the challenges confronting regional integration, especially those brought upon West Africa by the global economic crisis and internal conflicts.
talk about peace and security, talking about economic growth, talking about the rest of the things that improve the life of the ordinary people. So I think our coordination will bring much more desired result to the sub-region.
They see the upcoming democratic transition in some member states as opportunity to promote accountability in governance.
And also that every access to power must be made to bring fair and transparent elections. In so doing, we are hopeful that all mechanisms will be worked out to allow the people to freely express their will through their votes and their voices to be heard through a free press.
The seminar is expected to move Parliament to seek greater competence to play its full role in the discharge of political and diplomatic duties. All Nigeria fine face. NTA News.
In line with its non-kinetic operations, the Nigerian Army has constructed and donated a motorized borehole to Rinze community of Akwanga local government area in Nasarawa state to increase access to potable water supply. The Friends correspondent Ismail Musa reports.
It's a dream come true for the people of Rins in Akwanga West Development Area of Nasarawa State. A solar-powered industrial water borehole equipped with 20 kVA generator provided by the Nigerian Army is to increase access to water supply and improve sanitation.
We've been longing to have this, and thank God today we have this drinking water, portable drinking water for our community.
Kudos to them, we appreciate them, and great. Yes, we are enjoying what they are doing.
The gesture is meant to foster civil-military relations in the community that lacks access to some social amenities.
This community, through the leadership of Akwanga West Development Area, sought for assistance from the Nigerian Army for the provision of potable water.
This way for cordial relationship necessitated with immediate response to the request by the committee to realize the dreams of the conception and completion of this water project as part of corporate social responsibility in communities where we conduct military operations like Nasarawa State.
The project is aimed at boosting confidence of host community in relation to army operations in the areas. From Akwanga in Nasarawa State, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
The Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder Diagnostic Treatment Rehabilitation and Research Center project is set to commence in Abuja. The project, initiated by Defense and Police Officers' Wives Association, the POA, is to provide trauma support to soldiers and police officers impacted by war and conflicts. A statement by the POA President, Mrs. Vicky Amuli Irabo, the foundation stone laying of the project will be performed by the First Lady of Nigeria, Mrs. Aisha Buhari, and will be accompanied by Liberian Vice President Jirel Taylor and other leaders. Still in the spirit of the independence anniversary for Nigeria, like other countries of the world, Nigeria has several symbols created at varying moments in the historical life of the country. The national flag is one of such symbols, which was adopted during Nigeria's independence in 1960. Charity James in this report seeks to find out what people know about this symbol and its significance to the country.
The national symbol is an object, sign, or emblem belonging to the nation, often characterized by federal integration and a state of colonial independence. Like other countries of the world, Nigeria has several symbols created at different moments in her history, with many of symbols depicting Nigeria's sovereignty and other meanings. How many Nigerians are aware of their country's symbols?
We have the coat of arms, we have the national flag, and we have our national anthem.
Our flag is our symbol. It represents Nigeria. The green stands for agriculture, and the white is for peace. National flag, we have green, white, and green. The Nigerian coat of arms, the Nigerian currency, the Nigerian flag.
One important symbol of Nigeria is the national flag designed by Michael Taiwo Akinkunmi in 1959, first adopted and officially hoisted as Nigeria's symbol on 1st October 1960 when Nigeria attained independence. Today, the Nigerian flag, usually hoisted in front of private and public buildings, among others, has 3 vertical bands of green, white, green, which is significant to the Nigeria in various ways.
It's a symbol of our strength. It's a symbol that Nigeria is a fertile land, a land blessed with abundant natural and human resources.
Authority shows the love, it shows the standing of Nigeria anywhere in the world.
So I see Nigerian flag, it reminds me of what we call national consciousness.
At many occasions, this symbol of Nigeria's sovereignty has been treated with disrespect, and analysts say the mutilation of the national flag is inimical to the prestige and pride of the country.
So if your perception is different, they would know how to treat the national flag. The way you view a thing determines how you respond to that thing.
Flag is, you have to check on it and you have to change it from time to time. No particular flag will stand forever.
Maintain it and know that that is your identity.
We need to add value to this, and as we add value to this, others will also respect it.
Some concerned Nigerians are, however, calling that clean Nigerian flags with the appropriate dimensions be hoisted as a pride of the Nigerian nation, while Nigerians obey the country's call to loyalty at all times. In Uyo, Charity James, NTA News.
As part of efforts to grow the Nigerian economy and make it enviable, the Presidential Enabling Business, alongside some notable Nigerians, converged in Abuja to map out ways to strengthen the taxation system in Nigeria. Ominka Amarchuku reports.
Dr. Jumoke Obuwale, special advisor to the president on ease of doing business, is using the 62nd independent anniversary to intimate Nigerians on the activities of the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council.
You have the corrupt tax official or tax agent trying to extort and trying to divert money from government account to their private account. You also see that people don't know when they're supposed to pay or what they're supposed to pay. So information is key. People don't know how easy it is to pay that you can pay online, and people don't know which arms of government collect what. Sometimes when you're new in business, you don't know what state government collects, you don't know what federal government collects or local government. So those are all the elements that we're trying to put in.
Citizens would understand their responsibility. There's nothing in life that it's a give and take. You expect something, you also have a responsibility. So together as citizens, we have a responsibility to this country, just as those who are in power. So as Yorubas would say, it takes 2 hands to make the hands clean.
The event, which commemorates the nation's anniversary, is a reminder for Nigerians to be more productive. In Abuja, Omeka Marchku, NTA News.
Well, in 62 years, you agree with me that Nigeria has grown its volume of import and export by removing major obstacles to boosting the economy, as seen in the case of Apapa, where there are constant initiatives aimed at eliminating impediments to the flow of business transactions. Michael Lale examines some of these interventions in Apapa, especially in the area of traffic gridlock.
Far back in 1880, the Lagos port has earned the appellation of the Liverpool of Africa. This is not just because of its dominance in maritime trade in the region, but majorly because it is the shortest route to the international waters. With increase in the volume of trade comes congestion in yard occupancy, thereby speeding up traffic within the Apapa corridor, which was further compounded by the poor state of roads then. Apart from reducing government's revenue from the corridor by 6 trillion naira in 2019, according to the organized private sector, Nigeria started losing its volume of cargoes to neighboring West African countries.
There's a syndicate making money from this problem, and until government gets to the root of it, nothing is going to work in Apapa.
The zeal to change the tide has remained consistent, with the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari inaugurating various interventions. The first step was the constitution of a presidential task force team headed by Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo. The Federal Safety Corps on its part constituted a minimum safety standards for articulated vehicles plying the road.
If we have the minimum standard coming in, then we don't expect frequent breakdown of trucks either within the port or along the corridor. So that will definitely ease congestion within the port.
With the passing of the day comes new ideas on how best to free the ports for legitimate trade, which one of the strategies identified by the Nigerian Ports Authority is making the corridor inaccessible for trucks and individuals without genuine businesses. This led to the removal of shanties and putting in place of an electronic call-up system known as ETO.
We will keep automating that, we will keep tweaking the system until we get it perfect. We are likely to, create a second app. It's just to create competition and also give people alternative.
While all of these are yielding results with businesses having a new lease of life, the federal government followed up with the setting up of the Free the Port Access Rules initiative, and the end is justifying the means by the testimonies.
No, they do not allow any vehicle to park. No congestion, no delay, no anything. Everywhere is free. We are all happy about it.
Now you can boast of loading a container in a day or in 24 hours and the goods is at the warehouse.
The team has successfully opened up the Apapa Port corridor, while efforts are ongoing to ease Tinkan Island ports. In Lagos, Michael Olaleye, NTA News.
Well, let's go on a break. We're back shortly. Please stay tuned. Thanks for staying tuned. The Kaduna State Governor, Nasiru Ahmed El-Rufai, has condemned extrajudicial killings of two headers in Birnin for alleged involvement in banditry. The state governor asked people to avoid taking actions capable of breaching peace and security in the area. However, the governor has appealed to the families of the victims to remain calm and directed security agencies to conduct thorough investigation to fish out the perpetrators. If you have plans to travel along the Abuja highway anytime soon, well, you may need to tighten your seatbelt for what lies ahead, as flooding in several communities along that route is creating heavy traffic logjam and delays we hear. Incidentally, while the increase in the water level is wreaking havoc on impacted communities, with victims counting their losses, maritime workers and boat operators appear to be smiling to the bank. Francis Odojo reports on the many ironies of flooding in Kogi State and how it is clearly a story of different strokes for different folks.
In recent times has been on the news, especially on the impact of flooding, with Lokoja, the Kogi State capital, being the epicenter. From Kogi Kotonkarifi to Lokoja, Basa, Ajokota, down to Ofo, Igalamela, Odolu, Omala, Ida and Ibaji local government areas of Kogi State. The story is the same as flood victims continue to count their losses. Lokoja, the Kogi State capital, like any other riverine community, is a case of a town underwater with massive devastation believed to be larger than 2012 disaster. Yet, the water level is still on the rise, spreading deeper into the hinterlands, submerging and destroying valuables on its path. The popular Kwata market in Lokoja has been flooded, forcing traders to display their goods on the major highway cut off by the flood.
This one is far higher than 2012.
For the maritime workers and boat operators, flood has provided an avenue for brisk business.
I'm charged 400 with this jacket. And before, if I'm using keke, highest with 200 to and fro. Before, it's 600. Only one person. Now, it don't be something of each one person be 1,000 now. Nobody did it again. Why? Water don't destroy that place.
Kodonkarifi, end of Lokoja Abuja highway, is not spared as water from River Niger has overflown the road, nearing the Murtala Muhammad Bridge, thereby creating heavy traffic.
I come out for Uromi, I then appear silly for Makalachi. What they call me say, Cotton Carfe, don't block. I say, Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. We have no any of us.
We are here more than 2 hours now. We feel bad because we have targeted the time that by 3 o'clock or 2 we get to Kaduna.
Water has overflown the major road linking the south to the north. The situation has affected free flow of movement, resulting to gridlock, leaving travelers stranded while security operatives tries to manage the situation. I have here with me Special Marshal Ruben Obo.
The situation here has been very terrible. The whole road is blocked. If not for the effort of the special marshal, the regular marshal, and good spirited individuals who are traveling, there would have been nobody to move here again. The contractors speed up this work, then we wouldn't have this challenge. We also advise the commuters, road users, to be patient with one another.
Meanwhile, as victims solicit for government assistance, they are more concerned about what the future holds and what authority should do to forestall the impact of flooding. In Lokoja, Francis Sudojo, NTA News.
Alright, let's take sports update.
Former world number 1 Yera Wellington has emerged the winner of the Abuja National Open Scrabble Tournament, which was concluded on Sunday. Wellington clocked 12 wins with a plus 477 score margin to win the 20 ahead of Emmanuel Umojoshai and Ezinaro George, who got 10 wins and plus 515 and 546 cumulative scores respectively. In the intermediate category, Daystar Ati won 13 games with a cumulative score margin of 903 to finish winner, while ASUU won the veteran category.
I'm happy to have been to spearhead the group that is going to the African Championship, and I can promise Nigerians that we will give our best and hopefully come back with the trophy. Those who currently chose to represent us in Zambia have also proven that they were well chosen because 7 of them came tops in the Masters category.
In golf, Babajide Ashebo is relishing his victory as overall winner from a field of over 400 golfers who competed in the Independence Day tournament at the IBB International Golf and Country Club, Abuja. The handicap 26 player grossed 88 for a net of 62, becoming the first winner of the green jacket as he was decorated by Chief of Defense Staff General Lucky Rabo as prizes were presented to other outstanding winners in different categories.
I guess the spirit of my sister, was over me yesterday when I was playing. I was reading the greens very well, making putts. Just a bit good. We can work with our differences and get it right.
Manchester City produced a historic 6-3 hammering of local rivals Manchester United at the Etihad Sunday afternoon, making it the highest scoring Manchester derby of all time. Both Erling Haaland and Phil Foden helped themselves to hat-tricks on a memorable day for the host. Leeds United maintained their unbeaten home record against Aston Villa with a goalless draw. And finally, Kenyan Amos Kipruto won his first London Marathon title on Sunday as Ethiopia's Yalemzov Yewala stomped the victory in the women's race. Kipruto made a move with 5 kilometers left and finished in 2 hours, 4 minutes and 39 seconds to take his first marathon title. With sports update, Bade Adeleye, NTA News.
That's Panorama. Thank you very much for your time. I'm Ruth Aguele. Bye.